Hello and welcome back to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. Today we're going to look at a non-Japanese beer, the first one in a while. And this beer is called Morland's Old Speckled Hen with quotation marks around it. And this is an example of the style of English bitter. And we'll talk about this for a few minutes here. English bitter is kind of a term for well-hopped beer in England, and some of them, of course, very mildly hopped, some more so. The exact details are kind of fuzzy, as many styles tend to be. What's the like the border between a porter and a stout, for example, here. The campaign for real ale in England has a kind of confusing set of instructions about this, and saying that perhaps bitter is something that grew out of a pale ale but with darker malts and is a pale ale that's been bottled, that sort of thing. This comes from Jeff Alderworthy's Beer Bible book, some notes that he took and wrote on. And the English bitter style, in any case, is kind of a mainstay of British pub life, which is, of course, declining now. Hundreds and thousands of pubs have been closing, and Alworthy also wrote that the percentage of draft beer, cask or keg beer, is now less than 50% compared to bottled beer in England. In any case, this style of beer is kind of mild alcohol and can serve for a whole evening's entertainment, rather than downing pint after pint of 7 or 8% beer. You get a 5 or 4% beer and sip it slowly over an evening for an evening's entertainment in the pub. And that kind of thing is sort of declining here now. Probably the most widely known example of this style would be Fuller's London Pride, which is available in many places around the world. The story behind this beer, it doesn't refer to a bird, a chicken, at all. Here in the town where Morland was based, there was also an MG car factory. And the story on the website for Morland, or for now Green King, which owns Morland, is that the company was asked to design a beer for the 50th anniversary of the MG factory, from 1929 when they started to 1979, which is when they asked Morland to do this beer. And the Old Speckled Hen, apparently, according to their website, was a car that the workers would use, an MG car that the workers would use to get around different parts of the brewery, and apparently it was paint spattered and hence speckled. Another account is that a wealthy woman ordered a car from the MG factory with paint spatters on the canvas coverings of the car. But in any case, you can check all this out on the Morland website if you like. And so this is now owned by Green King, as they bought many beers, many breweries. And there are different variants of this beer. You can find Old Crafty Hen, Old Golden Hen, Old Hoppy Hen, and even Hen's Tooth. And I see more of these beers, say 10 years ago here in Japan. And the reason why I bought this one is it suddenly appeared and I hadn't seen it for a long time. So, in any case, this beer on RateBeer has 1,934 ratings, an average rating of 3.08, 39 percentile for all beers, and 47 for its style, which would be bitter or strong or ESB. Here. Shall we give it a go? The label notes very helpfully tell you what you're drinking. Here it says on the aroma here we're getting malty, toffee, lightly roasted, and taste, abundance of malts, and distinctive toffee character. So they seem to be touting the toffee character of it here. It is a very pretty copper color with a nice thin, maybe half finger, kind of creamy head. And let's give it a go. It does have a mild, I would say, dark fruit nose, raisins, light prunes. If you like toffee, I would prefer perhaps a more fruity descriptor. Very rich, malty, fruity flavor initially, and it does balance in the mid palate. The hops kind of pick up some determination in mid palate and kind of linger a bit to the end. But overall, this is what I call a nicely balanced beer. Body a bit thin, perhaps a little watery, but overall I'd say this is tasty, a touch thin, but very drinkable beer. I suppose if you were involved in local pub life, as so many people were in England, this would be a beautiful way to pass the evening with your friends with a glass of this old Speckled Hen. Once again, Morland's Old Speckled Hen. You will find it it's exported all around the world, and you'll find it in many places. Give it a try. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.